This video is sponsored by Factor. If you live in the US and use the promo code on screen right now, or the link in the description, you can buy yourself your first box 50% off, along with free shipping. But hurry, this only lasts until July 2025, and it's a deal that benefits you if you are struggling on what or how to eat. And I recommend them from my experiences. With all that in mind, please enjoy the video. Tsumaranai. Shimshime. Where to even start? Everyone comes and goes, leaving when this place fulfills them of their requirements to go out there and live as talented people. Humanity. It confuses me. Why bother trying to seek out the most in life when it does not matter? Everyone dies. Everything fades away eventually. That's the long and short of it. Some external factor or natural causes keep the cycle of life going. Even I am not immune to this process. My existence is trapped within this body, this mortal coil, even induced with the artificial blood of the gods, is confined to the laws of this brutal mistress we call nature. Eventually, I will also succumb to death. When we mourn, we move on. And then eventually forget. Memories work like that. We hold out so much hope for our lives in the future. Yet that hope is eventually extinguished by the phenomenon we call despair. But then it cycles back to hope, and then despair again. It just keeps repeating on and on. How boring. There seems no need for human interaction. And yet, you still keep coming back. I'm curious as to why I am the one you wish to talk to the most out of everyone here. A nihilistic injection of a person who's lived and endured countless historical events. There is an abundance of generations of students that are here to talk to. Yet you pick the one that's voluntarily chained itself to this academy. We met in this spot exactly 5 years ago. I do not even feel the need to ask why you've come back. It's because of me. But what about me makes you want to converse with me so much? Go on. Tell me. Enlighten me. Is that so? From my logical standpoint, a conversation with me seems so inconsequential, so unimportant, so meaningless that you'd be wiser to talk to some other friend you have. I'm your friend too. While we have interacted multiple times in the past, to say I thought of you as a friend would be untrue. Almost deceitful for that matter. That's not to say I do not like you, but I don't dislike you either. I'm just indifferent to your presence. As such, it's why I am still perplexed that you talk to me of all people. If you can even call me a person. I don't particularly blame you for being taken aback at this point in time. It's something that those socially inept cannot deal with as much as those who are antisocial. In a way, it's a blessing in disguise, though it obviously has its downsides, much like anything else in life. Hope and despair have those same upsides and downsides, and I believe you'd be inclined to agree with my stance. Some hope can lead to despairs, birthing a black truth. Some despair lead to white lies, continuing the blissful ignorance of the common folk. If you simply mesh them into one amalgamation, you gain a pile of mixed and messy emotions. I remember one particular student, with what seemed like a hopeful and cheerful demeanor, yet is emotionally numb, say something along the lines of, however seemingly insurmountable despair may be, when all is said and done, hope can't help but triumph. That's how it goes. Giving over to despair is just part of the process. Nothing is right. So is nothing wrong? Would hope be chaos and despair be another step in the status quo? It's a never-ending staircase that I don't believe has one correct answer. If you want my perspective, it is because despair exists that hope can appear as its yang to despair's yin. In despair's absence, hope by itself would be boring, because no one feels sad, lonely, or remorseful. It creates a lack of need to grieve. If hope was missing, no one would feel happiness. To put it simply, without each other, they'd be nothing and boring. Unlike you and I do not believe we complement each other's existence, but that is not to say I didn't learn anything from you. For what it is worth, I believe that some of the moments we shared were what you would consider fun. So it's not all bad. That said, some moments online were rather hectic and at times a little creepy. Do you remember graduation? I believe that was one of your more positive moments here. It's an opportunity even now that grants you the passage to a new, everyday life. One that I am sure many wish they could have, considering the harsh reality that it is that humanity lives in. Me personally, it makes me think about how people feel the need to lie to get somewhere in the world. In my eyes, there is no benefit from lying to get what you want. Let's say you're in a game. You put yourself in a situation where you voluntarily are to overcome unnecessary obstacles in your path. Now let's say the equivalent to lying in everyday life in a game is a cheater. Don't you think that cheaters are precisely like liars? To cheat in a game is to overcome those obstacles while not conforming to or breaking the rules of the game people are playing. There's no victory in playing dirty. There are those who will believe everything that they see, and yes, this is naturally human judgment that I am talking about here. But you can't deny that this whole scenario about believing absolutely everything applies heavily to the world of social media. It's a shame, and a bore, really. People believe so easily because information online is digested by people so fast. The downside is that information online is digested by people so fast. If everyone was just a little more skeptical than willing to believe, then don't you think lying would be completely pointless? This is why some of those who, for instance, make straw man's arguments, or those who feel jealousy, never actually get their way. They create lies, wish for people to believe such lies, and when it all comes crashing down, everything that they had supposedly worked for becomes all for nothing. That is the nature of truth and lies. It is a predictable and boring chain that keeps repeating itself, and it gets longer and more convoluted as the years progress. Do you mind if you give me your hand? I want to see something. As predicted, you are stuck in the past. If I am wrong, then why did you bother to come see me? If you weren't so stuck in the past, then you wouldn't have come here to want to talk to me in the first place. Didn't we literally just talk about how lying doesn't get you anywhere? Look, nothing is forever. People move on. That's natural. There's absolutely nothing non-human about this. Some relationships last a lifetime, but there are also those that don't. Quite honestly, it's fine that one could be stuck in the past, as long as no one is hurt from it. That said, I don't think it would be hyperbole for me to say that you are hurt from coming back here, a place that should realistically be a memory to you now. You don't necessarily need to come back here, because that's what memories are for. A bird must start flying eventually. This is why the stages of life exist as a concept. Me? Why did I choose to stay here? The people in this academy want to examine other people's talents, and they wish for me to guide them on their way to a new life. Not unlike how we've interacted in the past. As such, I decided to stay. I understand that you are very clearly devoted to me as someone to be around. But you have your own life too. If you stay here any longer, you won't ever want to leave. This is why I do advise that you take your leave and go off on your own journey. Remember what I told you 5 years ago? You have the potential to make your life worth something. So, make it worth something. While we may not see each other for a long time, we'll always be together until the day we die. We will cherish the moments we've spent together as memories. And from me to you especially, your luck will be exponential. The school bells will be ringing any minute now. So, that means we both need to get going. I will say, you weren't the absolute most boring thing in the world. And while that may sound a little mean, it's a compliment coming from me. I know you're going to miss me, and in a way, I will miss you too. But with my luck, we'll meet each other again at some point, outside of this prestigious Hope's Peak Academy. All this to say, may we meet again.